Hello, friends. It's the Cinemondo podcast. We're talking about Dune again. We're
Dune.
talking about Dune, the
Dune.
movie, which I remember I read the book when I was in
Yeah,
high
I
school.
did too.
I still have my copy that I read in high
I do
school.
not.
And I've read this thing probably about 3 or 4, 5, 6, maybe 8 times.
Once was enough for me.
I love it. I just love the world. I love the world building.
Mhm.
I love the weirdness of it, the strangeness of this distant future world, and the fact that it's not like a lot of other science fiction stories. Doesn't have any aliens in it. It has
Yes,
humans in it who
sandworms.
have become alien, but
Yes,
there's
sandworms.
well, yeah, they're the sandworms, yeah, but
They're kind
no
of aliens.
no intelligent aliens, no
Right.
alien cultures.
No, no, yeah, no, like you said, a culture or like a actual structure of some kind
Yeah,
of, community or anything. No, it's just, wild
there's
animals.
alien animal life,
Yeah.
kind of, but and super important alien animal life.
Yes.
But what a great metaphor as well for the way things work in the
Mm,
present day on our planet Earth. With oil and wars being
I know.
started for nefarious reasons, and people undermining other political systems. I mean, what's happening right now is right out of Dune. Just change a few of the names.
That's right. And then, Paul is thought of as kind of this messiah, and he's creating all this havoc just sort of in his name. And sounds sort of familiar somehow. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we have a Baron Harkonnen.
We kind of do. Yeah.
But aside from the obvious parallels between beautifully written, very carefully researched fiction written by Frank Herbert, who was an amazing historian. The guy was very well educated, and I love reading books that seem so informed by history and reality
Hmm.
that you feel like you're reading something. I felt the first time I read it, I felt like it was way over my head, and
Right.
then you learn a little bit more, you get a little older, and you read it and you're like, oh, yeah, I get it. And then you read it when you get a
Yeah.
little older, and it's a totally different thing. That's what I love about the story. But
Yeah.
then David Lynch made a film in the 80s, which I really loved because it was an adaptation of a book that I loved. I overlooked the flaws in it.
Of which there are many. But, honestly, I kind of reappreciate it now, even though
Yeah.
he even disavowed it, honestly. But it's like it was still had a bold, crazy point of view that I thought was maybe not the book, the
Right.
book, but it had its own unique David Lynchian thing to it, and I appreciate much more about David Lynch now. Now
It
that he's
had a
gone.
it brought David Lynch into science fiction, which
Yes.
are two of my favorite things, and Dune is one of my favorite books. So it was like I couldn't help but really, really want to love it.
Ah.
And the production design is beautiful. But then there was some TV series on Sci-Fi Network that I watched. I couldn't really get into them. I
Mhm.
felt like they were not up to the levels that I
It's a
wanted to
hard
see.
story to tell. It
It is a
really is.
massive, vast story that goes back. I mean, it's huge. So Denis Villeneuve decided to do one.
He would be the guy too.
Yes, I
Super
love his
intelligent
films.
filmmaker, very, in-depth. He doesn't shy away from quiet moments of, political intrigue and not just action, action, action.
Yes,
Even though he brought the action, but he's just a really smart, sophisticated filmmaker. So I was excited when he was on board, and first one blew me away. Thought it was fantastic.
but the second one,
Didn't super love the second one. I don't know.
oh,
I feel like it didn't really move the story very far to me. I feel like I've seen a lot of it didn't feel as much like the discovery of this world anymore. It just felt a
right.
little bit tired. I don't know. I didn't quite get the excitement of that first one and the second one. Maybe
I
I
can.
need to rewatch.
I think you should. I mean, if you feel like it, rewatch it. But I think you're right, though. I mean, there is an element of that. There's that the scene. My favorite scenes in the first film are when they arrive on the planet and
Yes.
when they're trying to adapt and they're trying to figure out, and they're like, oh my God, it's hot here,
Yeah.
and there's no
Yeah.
water. And they came from a planet with a giant, covered with oceans and beautiful,
Yeah.
lush green. And here they are dropped in the
Oh,
middle of like nightmare. And but you know what? We have a loyalty to the emperor, and we have
Yep.
to do what we're told. And
I have to do it. And I also, I just in general like origin stories more
yeah,
than once people come to power or get their
right,
powers. So I liked, the Paul Atreides when he first gets there, he's just kind of this brat. He doesn't really know what he's supposed to, he knows he's the anointed, you get to be the prince or whatever he's supposed to be and the lead,
right.
but he didn't really know what to do. And I like the struggle of that. Him trying to understand what he's there for, what he's supposed to do, and everyone trying to teach him. I love that. The
Yeah.
second one, they didn't have that. He was kind of there. He was kind of messing up a little bit, but it was kind of, I don't know. Then it felt like we were getting the Timothee Chalamet. And I feel like the first one we were kind of getting, he's still coming into his own. You're rooting for him. He still seemed like a really cool actor. And now he's just kind of like,
I know.
I'm
He's a
not
little overblown. Yeah, I'm kind of.
to me. So I'm hoping maybe this one again back down into the nitty gritty and work with it and not make him seem like, this terrible persona he's been running around with to the awards ceremonies. Maybe
I
he's,
know.
I don't know, but I'm hoping that either this movie ties into that or helps absolve him of that. I'm not sure, but I'm interested in seeing the trailer to see if, I mean, it's just a teaser, but I'm interested in seeing how he comes off in this.
I think he's a really good actor. I just
He can be,
I
yeah.
just try to ignore his personal life and his fashion choices and the choices of people he decides to hang around with and associate himself with. It's like, I thought he was a little bit beyond that sort of.
I know. I thought he was a little
Hollywood
cooler
lifestyle
than
that is so overdone. It's like a parody of a guy who just became a movie star. It's like what you'd see in a mockumentary about on SCTV or something where Jackie Rogers Jr. becomes a superstar.
Well, it was funny because I like when he Call Me by My Name was such a great movie. It's so like such a stretch and such a great, sensitive, crazy, emotional. I was like, wow, this guy's amazing, right?
Yeah.
But ever since then, he's been like playing these heroes, these big heroes, these bigger than life characters, and I'm like, all of a sudden, this guy you felt like was kind of the cool emotional core or something, and he's like Bob Dylan, or he's like Paul Atreides, or he's like this guy Marty Supreme. It's like now he's just playing these big douchebags, and I'm like, now you're kind of like, maybe he just is. I don't know. So you kind of, there's that crossing line of who he is and who his characters are. And those character choices over and over again are kind of off-putting. That's why if this character is going to get like kind of a comeuppance in this movie, I will think that's what he needs, honestly. He needs a comeuppance moment.
But I really liked him in the Bob Dylan movie. I thought he was really good in that, and I'm not the biggest Bob Dylan fan in the world, but I appreciate Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
And I actually would say I love Bob Dylan, but I don't pop Bob Dylan's records on the turntable very often.
Not my vibe. It's not my jam.
Every once in a while I'll listen and I'm like, you know what? I love that song, but I don't have a craving for it. You know what I mean? But that said, I do appreciate the story of Bob Dylan and the mystery of his real background and how he's sort of told all these stories about himself and made himself into this character. And I thought the film kind of captured a little bit of that. And I thought he was really good and subtle. And I love the fact that he learned the songs and learned how to play. He actually played and sang it,
Well, we should get to it because we spent 8 minutes and we haven't even watched the trailer yet.
Yeah, well, we should watch the trailer. Let's
watch it.
Anyway, we're up to Dune 3 now.
Dune 3.
The Denis Villeneuve Dune film with Timothee Chalamet and a few other fine actors in here.
Lots of actors. Chalamet, Zendaya, Florence Pugh, Rebecca Ferguson, Javier Bardem, Robert Pattinson. By Denis Villeneuve. Let's check it. Let's check it out.
Let's take a look.
All right,
Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. Hold the work and...
If we have a girl, what will we name her?
Her name should be Ganima. She would need to be strong, like her mother. What if it's a boy?
I would name him Leto. So he would have the wisdom of his grandfather.
feeds on itself. The more I fight,
I love Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah.
fight back.
Oh,
I'm doing the best I can to protect my family. How did Father do it?
Your father never started a war.
ouch.
I'm not afraid to die. But I must not die. Yet.
I didn't see a single worm in that. I don't think I did. Or did I? I don't know. That was, I heard also, I guess the music is done by Hans Zimmer. And he said
yes.
that chant was actually Timothee Chalamet singing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hans Zimmer did amazing work on these, on all three of these films, the first two. And then it sounds like, you know, more of the same, which is a good thing for this one. He was using real strange acoustic instruments from different cultures and people who could play them, and, you know, specialists who know how to play these things, and certain types of singing, like throat singing and all these other kinds of techniques that have kind of, to our Western ears, kind of slightly alien sound to them. And in some cases, I think I was detecting some sort of microtonal tunings that he was using in some of it that put you kind of on edge with some of the music, which I love. There's weird tone pitch changes and things like,
Yeah.
and all these things that are meant to sort of make you feel on edge and epic. You know, he's really great at writing the epic stuff. So the music, I love the music.
Great.
Yeah.
So this is the final film in the trilogy.
Yes.
According to Villeneuve.
Yeah.
It's apparently 17 years since the last movie.
Yes.
Paul is an emperor. It's apparently focusing less on war to consequences of war, like what happens to the power and the politics and how it ties into prophecy.
Yes.
And then we have Robert Pattinson's the new villain.
Yes.
Skytail. We also have apparently it's a big IMAX style visual. So see it in IMAX, everyone.
I would love to.
Exactly.
But yeah, Robert Pattinson plays a character that's in the second book. You know, the first book is I just love this book. The second book, I've said it before on these things. The second book I like, but I always tell people read Dune, and then decide if you want to read the second one. You know, I'm not like advocating that you go and read the whole series, because to me it kind of goes in a direction I didn't want it to go. I don't know. It's an easy way to put it, but the second book is good. I mean, it goes into some things, the consequences of believing the hype about yourself, which is interesting, you know, in the context of Hollywood.
Exactly.
And the idea that if a whole bunch of people tell you that you are just the second coming of Christ, you are, you know,
who's to argue? I mean,
and well, then you start thinking, you know, well, maybe I am, because all these people believe it. Maybe I really am a god, you know.
Kind of a lot of power to have if people believe that. But you know, overall, it feels very, it feels very consistent with the movies. Has the same look. Looks like it's escalating a little bit.
Yes.
The new, bigger, not necessarily bigger wars, but bigger conflict. And then, it looks like, according to the posters, Chalamet starts looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
Something to that. So let's look at some posters, speaking of, because we have a bunch of posters. All right, so first we have the Timothee Chalamet poster.
Yeah.
He's been through some shit, it looks like. Not looking
Well,
so
it's
good.
interesting about this poster. It looks like he's got the blue eyes, but he has this scarring around his eyes.
Hmm?
Um,
Is that from overdosing on?
no, I don't know. But the interesting thing, I mean, it's not really spoiler at this
The
point, but
blind thing?
at one point, yeah, he becomes blind. And I
Yeah.
wonder if this is how they depict his blindness, like
Yeah,
because his eyes got blasted and he is blind, and then then his psychic stuff compensates and he becomes more,
yeah.
But I
Interesting.
wonder if this
Yeah.
this poster is showing what he looks like after his eyes get blasted, and if he's
Ooh.
blind, and if his eyes just still look normal. In the book, I think they were gone, like his eyes were completely blown
You
out.
can't do that to Timothee Chalamet.
I know.
So then we have, there's her. They all seem to have a little bit of the black vein, just, I guess just from being there in general, just breathing the air.
War
living that way.
injuries or something. Yeah.
Scars. I love her. I think she's fantastic.
Yeah, she's
The
great in
best.
everything she does. She's so natural
good.
and
Yeah, she's amazing.
yeah.
And then we have Rebecca Ferguson, also
Who's
amazing.
also great in everything she does.
I love everybody's blue eyes. It's really funny. So,
Yeah.
So they all just say conclusion. They're not going to over explain.
Yeah.
They're just going to say that's what it is. Okay, and we got Harvey Bardem looking pretty rough, but it looks intentional, like he's in camouflage.
Oh, he's got a little dirt on his face there, like he's been through something.
Yeah. Blue eyes. And then we have this. I'm not sure who this actor is, but now it says, it says Epic there. Conclusion. Kind of a weird spot for Epic to be.
Yeah, it's been in the same space in all these posters.
But it's like this one right in the nose is a little bit awkward.
Right. It's a little coming right out of her nostril.
I probably would have just bumped her up just a teeny bit on this poster. And then we have this one. Perfect setting for Epic right now.
Yeah.
But that's kind of cool. He's the only one so far had any movement added to it. Yeah, Robert Pattinson. I think it's interesting too.
And the reason for that movement is interesting too. The blur of his face is interesting.
And then it's interesting too because nobody has their actor name on these. Usually you have like character cells, and even though you think everybody should know, usually you at least clue the actor's name on it, but they're not doing that here. Not even the character name. They're just saying the epic conclusion. This sort of also right up in the nose probably would have just nudged him up a little. Maybe
it kind of makes you want to scratch.
I know,
your nose.
tickles. It makes my nose tickle.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing when you have this set type.
Yeah.
And you decided this is where you want to be. You really have to be careful about where you put people. And so I know, guarantee everybody was moving them around 100 times, just said, who cares? Just let it sit there.
Yeah.
That's great positioning. I like her too.
Yeah. She plays Aliyah. And then Duncan is back.
Beautiful. Yeah. I love the eyes.
His eyes. His eyes are different.
They're not blue.
Well, yeah, he's not. He's sort of a reanimated corpse,
That's
basically called a Gola. And in this one, he comes back. The Tlilaxians, which Robert Pattinson is one of. I won't go into it, but he is given to Paul as a gift. Like here, accept this gift of your dead friend.
Yeah, you miss him, I'm sure. So here he is.
I know it's a total Pet Cemetery kind of idea, though, because he's not quite himself.
No, you've been through death. You're a little changed by that.
Yeah. But a really interesting character, a really interesting relationship. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they do that and how they do Robert Pattinson's character and his special abilities and things.
Well, we had the teaser just now. A lot of footage for a teaser.
Yeah.
That was kind of nice. And then we don't have a final payoff yet. We just have these character posters so far. So very interesting. They're rolling it out. They're not even saying who the actors are because if you know, you know. That's what it's all about. So yeah, it looks they're pitching it super prestige, really elevated. This is going to be a huge movie, big tentpole movie, and they're treating it as such. So let us know what you think of Dune 3 teaser and poster.
I'll tell you what I think. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm always rooting for a big Villeneuve movie.
Yes, I love his films, and apparently his next film is going to be another one of my favorite science fiction books. So Rendezvous with Rama. I hear Arthur C. Clarke's.
I don't know that one yet.
Another massive science fiction film.
Villeneuve does a lot of great sci-fi movies. So
yeah,
I like that. I mean, I thought his Blade Runner was great.
I loved it. I really
liked it.
And every other science
And
fiction
Arrival.
film he's done. Arrival is incredible. Love
Just
that
smart. Like he just makes sure they're smart, and it's not just drama set in space. Like he always brings something extra. So looking forward to this one.
and faithful to the source material, which I think
Right.
is the strength of the
Yes.
Dune films that he's
It
made.
really is. So let us know what you guys think in the comments about Dune 3.
Dune 3.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.